So with this potentially being the final day of TikTok, I did want to make one final recording where I sort of briefly talk about why I started this page in the first place, sort of prefacing if you do want to see more of my information or videos that I continue to make. I have a Twitter account, a Blue Sky account, and I am setting up a YouTube page now, all under this same account name, the Sarah Loves Disney. Okay, so anyway, that aside, in May of 2024, my mom and I went to Fan Expo Philadelphia, which is a convention that we've been to in the past in 2022 and 2023. Now, my mom has a chronic pain condition, which makes it difficult for her to stand for extended periods of time or slowly shuffle along. A scooter does not work for her because she also isn't supposed to sit for extended periods of time. She just is very small, and so the setup of those scooters is really painful for her. It sort of makes her condition worse. So the best thing for her is to alternate between walking around and sitting. She does not require a mobility aid at this point, so it really is just sort of that standing for extended periods of time. Now, in the previous years, things weren't perfect. I've talked in previous videos about sort of not really knowing how to line people up before letting them into the exhibit hall, and so that's always been a problem. But once in the exhibit hall and autograph areas and everything, people were always very friendly, always very nice, always just really trying to help. Then everything changed in May when we went this year. So as we always do, when we get there, we go to the accessibility booth in registration. It's a big booth, big sign says accessibility, and you get a sticker for your badge and a companion sticker, which is for me. So at that point, everything had seemed the same as before. Even the language for the accessibility page on their website was the same. So we were expecting the very same treatment. So we get there Saturday, and we immediately go up to the autograph area because there was someone that we really wanted to meet. That person wasn't there yet, but people had already started to line up. So as we always do, we just go up to the crew member and ask what they would like us to do, because every line is different, because they don't really have a set policy there. And sometimes, they've given us return times. Sometimes if there are chairs nearby, I sort of stand in line and wait until I get closer and my mom can see me. And sometimes they've just sort of had us go through the VIP line, which we never ask to do. We do not ask to do that, but that is sometimes what they have us do. And so we go up to the first line, and the person was like, yeah, we've been told not to accommodate anyone in this year. And we're like, what? That's ridiculous. This person agreed, by the way. So after a lot of conversation back and forth with this person, they were like, just come back later. I know that I talked to you. I understand your information and your concern. I will just take care of you when you come back. So that person was really nice for us the whole weekend. But essentially every other worker that we talked to, or that my mom talked to, was just worse and worse and worse. We had people tell her, yeah, just sit on the floor. She is, older and disabled with a chronic pain condition. She cannot just sit on the floor. We were told that chairs were not allowed in that area. Apparently it was a fire hazard. We did talk to some firemen. It was not a fire hazard. And actually the fire hazard was the fact that they moved the food booths and tables into the hallway, which are blocking the doors and are right by the escalators and stairs. So yeah, that was the actual hazard, not the autograph area having chairs. We talked to people who basically Fan Expo workers saying they got rid of accessibility because they believe people were abusing, and they were talking down to us they thought that we were lying and cheating. We told them, then why do you have an accessibility badge if you don't have any accessibility policies? Person said the website says that we don't do anything, and I'm like, the website language is exactly the same as it has been for years. We had workers tell us in exact phrasing, quote unquote, we don't do ADA. That's illegal, by the way. You can't just not do ADA. Anyway, so the whole weekend we just had all these workers just be like, we're not allowed to accommodate you. We don't do ADA. We don't do accessibility. Now, even if those are just contract workers, volunteers working for the day, that is language and that is information that they were told by somebody higher up. So anyway, the weekend was just sort of awful. We were treated horribly, except for that one worker. And what's funny is all the other fellow like attendees that we talked to were also like flabbergasted with us. We kept telling people what was going on, and they were like, that makes no sense. Like, I don't understand why they can't accommodate you or just try something. They're like, yeah, that's really bad. So anyway, it's been like obviously months since this has happened. This was back in May. We did not initially contact, the government or try to file any official complaint because we wanted to handle it internally. We wanted to give Fan Expo an opportunity to, talk to us and try to rectify the situation. We tried on social media for a while to tag them in things because their website did not offer any way to contact them. They just have their basic like info@FanExpo email. So we really couldn't get in contact with anybody. We had reached out to the city of Philadelphia to try to get help. They couldn't. We tried to contact the convention center and we couldn't get a hold of people. After months and months of trying, that is when we then started, filing officially. Federal Department of Justice, they just have too many things, so they weren't going to move forward. And then we've just been given the runaround with different organizations being like, oh, like they're really understanding of our situation, but they're like, we're not the right department, go here. And then we go there and they're like, we're not the right department. So it's just been, we've been given the runaround. We can't get a hold of people. Like, we just want to talk to them. Like, that's all we want. We just want to open a dialogue. And it's not working. So then I started this idea of like, okay, we need to get a hold of the talent to let them know. So, if your favorite celebrity is coming, let them know that disabled fans are being harmed in this way. And in this work of, us trying to advocate and push against this problem, we found out that, we weren't the only ones dealing with this issue and that other conventions are doing the same and that things are getting really, really bad. If you know anything about the Disney World, like disability access service right now, that is, it's mirroring the same problem where accommodations are just being rescinded. And, again, we were just treated with such disrespect. It's a really, really long story and I have a lot of different details, but, there's not enough time in one of these videos to really go over every single little detail that happened. I think it's just important to let you guys know that they literally said the words, "We don't do ADA," and that they treated us like we were cheaters. And it was just absolutely awful. And it just felt like such a big difference. We had such good times in 2022 and 2023 and people were so helpful. It's just such a big shift in like 1 year. So that's why I wanted to do this. I wanted to, if they're not going to talk to us, then I'm going to talk to you, because more people need to know, more pressure needs to happen, because we can't let this continue. So anyway, that's sort of a very brief explanation of what happened, why I started doing these videos. Again, I'm going to try putting them on YouTube under this same account name. And I have a thread of all of this on Twitter and on Blue Sky, and I'll put my YouTube there too once that's up and running. I want to thank you all again for listening to all my videos. Hopefully this isn't it for TikTok. I think it's a really great community that we have here. And I just want to wish you all well. And thanks for staying on for this long. I know this was a much longer video than I normally do. But yeah, anyway, stay warm if you're in the north. It's cold right now, cold and icy. Anyway, thank you all. That's it for now. Bye.